What is going on, guys? V-Mania here with another Division video. In this video I wanted to go over what is my standard build that I always use. Usually I run this build when I'm in a full squad, be it matchmaking or playing with friends. Now I do have to say one thing about this build is that this build is not for the Dark Zone. What I mean by that, it is not a PvP build. This build is for PvE, and it is for conquering all levels of PvE content, be it possibly solo or be it heroic incursions or just running through challengings and missions and whatnot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go over my usual build, my go-to build, the build I run uh, day to day. So let's dive into it, guys. Let's go ahead and start off with the weapons. So my usual weapon setup is usually the shotgun and SOCOM M1A. So I can cover close range and I can cover distance as well. Uh, in certain situations, or more often than not, depending on what I'm doing, I'll also switch to my G36 or my Navy MP5. Um, if I'm trying to stay alive, I'll run the Navy MP5 because it does have self-preserve. But more often than not, you'll see me with my SASG, my sausage shotgun for the most part. So let's go over these guns. So I often use this G36. It it comes in at 10.3 DMG per bullet, 20% enemy armor damage. I do have a mag on there that takes me up to 61 rounds. You can see the 30 plus 31 there. And this gun has vicious, accurate, and focused. Uh, this is one area I could definitely improve on. For one, the first thing I like to say is my odds of getting a G36 are extremely low, and I can't seem to get one that that I that would make this gun my primary, which is why I often run my sausage or my Navy MP5. The best rolled G36 in my viewpoint would be Bruto, Deadly, and either Fierce or Ferocious. And keep in mind, guys, I'm saying this stuff all from a PvE perspective. There are different things you may want to do for PvP, but when I say best in slot for me, I am talking from a PvE perspective, killing the most difficult guys in PvE. Anyhow, so if I can get a Brutal, Deadly, and re-roll that focus talent to Ferocious or Fierce or something along those lines, I would that G36 would at that point in time become my primary weapon of choice. So I do got a couple mods on there. It's your standard magazine size, got headshot damage, crit hit chance, stability, crit hit damage, and more stability and accuracy. I really like this gun to fire like a laser, so that's why you see a lot of stability mods on there, guys. So my second gun is the Navy MP5. Uh, I've been a fan of this gun ever since you could buy the blueprint from the Dark Zone DZ6. You guys remember that? Back pre-patch 1.1, you used to be able to buy this blueprint. And I've been a fan of this gun ever since. It comes in at a damage of 9.2k, 39% crit hit damage. That could go up to 50, so that's not the greatest. Uh, Taking my magazine size up to about 59 there, so that's a good size magazine. The talents this gun has is self-preserve, brutal, and ferocious. So this is why this is my that's why this is my stay alive gun. That's self-preserve when running smart cover and posts really functions as a first aid for the most part. Even better because if you're taking damage, all you gotta do is point and shoot, and you'll get your health back pretty quickly there. So Got mods that's giving me, the bonus magazine size, rate of fire, headshot damage, crit hit chance, stability crit hit damage, and accuracy with hip fire accuracy. Now for my SASG, my sausage. This is my favorite shotgun at the moment. I do have an MA70 that don't have as good talents, but it's still a good M870. But I think this gun is the best gun to use in a PvE environment. So yeah, so it has a shotgun stagger of 278%, damage coming in at 57.4, with the extended mag taking me up to 13 rounds. The talents this gun has is brutal, responsive, and ferocious. My main reason for using this gun is brutal and ferocious. And you kind of want to always have responsive on your shotgun, because that 14% damage increase when you're within 10 meters, that talent, in my opinion, was meant for SMGs and shotguns. So, but my main reasons for using this gun, like I said, as my primary, is that brutal and that ferocious talent. So it's deadly towards the the elites I will be facing. Magazine size, extended mag checks in at 91% with bonus weapon damage. Got accuracy and headshot damage going in as well. If I can get me a black market SASG, I could have more stability on it. But this gun pretty stable as is. So, and for my M1A, this is a must-have if you're doing PvE, in my opinion. This and a God Roll G36 will take you far, and also a sausage shotgun as well. So my M1A, I've been trying to find me a really good one, but this is the one I did settle on for now. Uh, it's not a first wave M1A because those apparently don't drop too often for me, but it does have a headshot damage of 159% with 47.4 base damage. Got the extended mag taking me up to 20 rounds. And the talents are unforgiving, brutal, and fierce. Now, I think this is another area I can improve upon, because the ideal M1A for me would be brutal, deadly, and ferocious. Or brutal, some sort of M1A talent, be it prepared, deadly, or anything that gives you a boost in damage, and ferocious. If you really want to put up high numbers against the latest PvE content, I think ferocious is a must have, and I think a lot of people overlook that talent and the overall damage to elites kind of stat there. So that's my weapons. I do have a pistol, first wave X45 with 14.1 damage. Mag size is about 20, 26, 27 there, or 28 if I do the math in my head. And this one has expert and unforgiving. So I usually use that gun to goof off, though. I don't really try to kill things with it. So there you have it, guys. That's my weapon. So now we can take a closer look at my gear. Now, the stats I go for on my gear, they are really they are really focused on PvE, and you'll see why here in a second. But see, I got a firearms of 3,000 there, stamina of 3,800, and electronics of 1,200. So I do not have any bonuses going into electronics besides my holster. And you see, I got a pretty good skill power there. I could get up to 32 skill power, but you're going to see why I'm sitting at 27 here shortly. So if we take a look at my chest piece, it is a Sentry's Call harness with plus 1044 stamina main stat there. Gives me plus 715 armor with plus 9% damage to elite. What you'll see in my gear is I really stack damage to elite, guys. I I really do, because most of the time when I am playing PvE, I am fighting an elite, a yellow bar, and if I am fighting a purple, usually they're not 33 or 30. Well, actually, I don't know if 33s exist in this game, or they kind of do for story missions, but they're not 32s or higher. There might be a 32. So I really don't have any problem killing that level guys. So I really like stacking damage to elites. There are people out there that would say go for that attribute that will boost your overall damage, and that is true. I just think that um, if you're going to be playing in-game content, you kind of want to have damage to elites worked in there somehow. So this one gives me plus armor, plus damage to elites. The improvement here is the sticky bomb damage. I really, if I can get something related to pulse or smart cover inside there, that would be amazing. Or pulse, smart cover, or first aid. Uh, the mods there, not too much improvement I can do on those mods, so that's a pretty well-rounded gear set there. Now my mask is another Sentry's Call mask. Again, I have damage to elites roll on it. 907 firearms, sorry guys. With a mod that gives me 158 firearms and another 1400 skill power. The one improvement I could make here is to get a skill attribute. Well, the two improvements. To get a skill attribute that favors some sort of first aid, pulse, or smart cover, and to get a minor attribute that has enemy armor damage. So, take a look at my knee pads here. Again, they are Sentry's Call. I'm running a 5-piece Sentry Savage Gloves, and my stamina checks in at 882. So, it's not quite as high as my firearms, which is 907. So I could use a higher um, stamina mod there. But on this, I have these are pretty good knee pads. If scavenging does factor in to anything, or if it will in the future, I have 98% scavenging on this. But this one is, again, I'm stacking damage to elites and enemy armor damage. So, and I'm getting this mod really needs improvement. I got 137 stamina coming from this mod with 1400 skill power. Uh, for my backpack, I have a Sentry Call backpack, 904 firearms, not too much improvement I can do there. Got 751 with 153 coming in from the mod with 1500 skill power. Major attribute being uh, 7,000 skill power. I actually just got this backpack. I this was an improvement I've seen, you know, on this build. I haven't seen an improvement on this build, and it was going on like a month there. Then last week I ran Falcon Loss, and I finally got a Sentry's Call backpack that was slightly better than the one I was currently running. This one has, on the last one I had bonus 7,500 skill power, but this one only have 7,100. So the only improvement I can see from this is if I didn't want to switch to a police backpack, I can have a minor attribute of plus ammo capacity. So, but my skill attributes focus on pulse and smart cover. So I think this gear set item is pretty well off. For my gloves, I have Savage gloves. That roll for stamina, I think is max. I think the highest you can get is like 72, and if you're within 5, I think you're pretty much maxed out. There's no point in spending credits to kind of get that bonus 5 for that main stat. For the major attributes, I have crit hit chance, marksman rifle damage, and damage to elites. The improvements I could possibly get on this item is to swap that marksman rifle damage out and put in crit hit damage, and also roll pulse crit hit damage for a skill attribute on this piece. For my 3-stat holster, I think this holster is pretty good, and the reason I say, well, I think it's really good actually. The reason I say that is because I have all my major attributes, my main stats rolled over 700, and I have a skill attribute of that helps smart cover. So this hits all the marks on what you want to focus on. The only thing I could possibly improve here is getting those main stats over 740, and that's just min maxing on a totally different level. So yeah, if we take a look at my character sheet here, I got 116 health. Crit hit chance for the current weapon is at 5%. I'm guessing that's my marksman. No, is that my pistol? Yeah, that's my pistol. Let me put on the MP5 so I can show you something here. Crit hit chance is 12%, so after you get a teammate who pulls this for you, it takes you up to 52% for this Navy MP5. Crit hit damage is sitting nicely at 98%. And I want to take a look at this stat right here. I got 72% damage to elites. The cap right now is 82%, and the only way to really hit that cap of 82.5% is to run 3-piece Sentry and 3-piece Hunter's Faith, I think, right? Yeah. So being at 72% damage to elites is really good, guys, especially after the 4-piece Sentry bonus. So I am pretty well off in terms of hitting the elites and hitting them hard. So, and that is with my my Navy MP5. So as soon as I can get that brutal, deadly, ferocious on the M1A, I'm going to be pretty deadly against elites there. So yeah, I believe I am at the armor cap. I definitely should be. Survivability, armor, 75. I am perfectly at it, guys. I think it's like 5,350 or something like that, and I am 15 over. So I did not try to stat too much into armor. The only thing you truly have to make sure of is that you have armor rolled on your chest piece and on your holster. If you can get above 1,700 on your chest piece, on your harness, and above 1,000 on your holster, usually it's pretty easy to hit that cap. You may have to throw on one mod to take you there, but as you can see, I don't have any mods that focus on that. So guys, there's my build. That's my everyday build. It's a 5-piece Sentry build with Savage Gloves. You hear about this build a lot in the Dark Zone, but this build is also worthwhile in PvE as well. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it or you loved it, hit that subscribe button as well. Check the description out in order to find me on Twitch, guys. I will see you in the next one. Get the salute out, get it out, mania. There we go. Thanks, guys.